September. Wow, I'm already gone all the way back.
Yeah.
February 7th. February 7th, 2020. Hope that you're doing well today. Call us at 773-763-9278, 773-763-WCPT, and meet us over on YouTube on the Santita Jackson Show and like and subscribe. Please, please, please take the conversation over there too and meet everybody over here on Facebook. We're in both places at the same time on the Santita Jackson and Friends page here on Facebook, and like and share, everybody. Please like and share, and go to TuneIn. It's a fantastic app. It'll sound as if you're in the studio with us, and of course WCPT820.com. And wow, there's so much to talk about today. We're going to talk about a whole lot. A whole lot. Of course, this is National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day, and it disproportionately impacts black women. So we're going to talk about that. It seems like we're like the through line for the show today. And we're going to be talking about black and white women and brown women and yellow women and red women, all women in America who make far less than our male counterparts. What would happen if a company published all salaries online? Do you think that that would close this pay gap, which of course could help to close the wealth gap, or not? What do you think? If you knew that you were working at the same position as someone and you made less, think about that. Think about that. Think about that. What would it, how would that impact the pay gap? What do you think, Bedalia? Hurry up and get to the mic so we can get to these other things. What?
Well, of course, I believe the pay. Of course, I believe the payback. The pay gap.
You're getting a little vengeful.
I am. We'll close in. I mean, everybody will get paid equally, hopefully.
Well, no, what we have to do is push for that. I mean,
Yes,
that's
of
why,
course.
and in 2020, when we talk about issues, while everybody's caught up in the personality of the president, we need to be looking at the policies
Exactly.
that drive how we live every day. That's why you all have to, you're not just voting for a president in 2020, you're voting for the U.S. Senate, for the people in the House of Representatives, you're voting for your state legislatures, governors, just people on the local level. These are the people who really impact most directly how we live every day. The theater of Washington is what it is. It is, of course, it's all very, very real and very important, but it's theater. How we live every day. How we live every day.
Mm-hmm.
We have to think about that. And how we live every day is paying rent. A woman's rent is not less expensive than a man's rent. Groceries are not less expensive for us. Our health bills, on and on and on and on. And yet women today make far less than men do. It takes a black woman of similar skills as a white man it takes her 8 months more to make what he has made by 9 months in 8 months before. That is to say, a white man by December 31st of year X, it takes a black woman until August of 22nd of the next year to make what he has already made. And over a lifetime, that's almost $1 million of hit that we take. White women are not doing a whole heck. Well, they're doing better than we are, but it's 79 cents on the dollar. That's not working. So we're going to be talking about that. What about publishing everyone's salaries online? How would that? How would you feel about that? Then, of course, we're going to be talking about period poverty. Period poverty. What is that? Something that I really hadn't heard of before. I'd heard of it, but not really, not in the most formal terms. And it's an issue in Chicago, but it's an issue in Calcutta. It's an issue in London. It's an issue in Mobile, in Mozambique, everywhere all around the world. Black girls, white girls, red girls, yellow girls, and women of every conceivable background. That is, and they have poverty in common.
Mm-hmm.
They have to choose oftentimes between buying personal products. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
If I can find something more delicate, I will, because I am from that generation where we say things very delicately,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe in that. But we know what it is. I don't say it out of shame. That having been said, they have to choose between buying their products for that time of month, for the cycle,
Mm-hmm.
and food. So women are using all kinds of things, toilet paper,
Yes.
and on and on and on. I mean, and sometimes they're just put away,
Mhm.
and because they're considered dirty. We've got to talk about that. That's something that Meghan Markle, before she married Prince Harry, she wrote about that, and that became an issue in some of her philanthropic works. And I think that that's very, very important. So we're going to talk about that today because it's happening here in Chicago. See, we
Mhm.
don't think that in Chicago and in the United States we deal with these real issues of gut bucket poverty. AOC said just a couple of days ago, we are underestimating the breadth and depth of poverty in the United States of America, and we are. And its effects, its impact, how people are living every day. You have a lot of middle class people walking around here who cannot afford these products either. They look like they're middle class, but they're working with you, sitting with you every day. I found out a friend of mine was dating a young woman. This was 30 years ago when I was first getting out of school, even a little longer than that. And it turns out he had been dating a woman, and it was only maybe 3 months. You know, because they were just dating. We were all on the road together, so it's not like he saw her every day. But as their relationship became more serious, you want to go by someone's home. It turns out she was living in her office. New York City is an extremely expensive place,
Expensive, yeah.
and even then, and she could not afford an apartment. So she had a nice job, but she stayed in her office so that she could save up money because oftentimes in New York City you have to go through a broker. It's the craziest process you've ever seen, and you would have to get several $1,000s together then so that you could get a little apartment, and it might be a walk up with your tub in the kitchen. That was one of the first apartments I saw. I was telling my father, I'm like, well, he's like every week he was like, have you found a place yet? No, Dad, I haven't found a place yet. Finally, we had to go through a friend who was massively connected, and that's how I was able to find a nice place to live. Okay, I mean a decent place to live. He said, I can't sleep at night thinking that you are not in a nice apartment building. I can't, because your father's your father, right?
Mhm.
So he was, excuse me, on the road, pardon me, a lot. So he was always coming by my little place. And my little place in Brooklyn, they used to break down the door all the time. Yes. My brother Jonathan walked in there and he said, oh, look, I'm working at a little bank. He just got his MBA. He said, look, I'll pay for you for a place to live. I was like, I'm fine. I was staying with my college friends because you're a little silly.
Right.
I was out of there in a month.
Mm.
Things you do when you're so young. So, but we've got a lot to talk about today. And of course, we're going to have Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas,
Yes.
who is still $79 million in back taxes. I mean, you all are owed money. She still has someone at push 2 days a week. And all you have to do is walk in there, and people getting thousands, hundreds, and thousands of dollars personally restored to them. Many of you who are senior citizens, you don't know that you have overpaid in your taxes. So, we're going to be moving today, but of course we have our favorite, the love doc, Dr. Brenda Wade, on to talk
Yes.
to us about the impact. And then Erin Connelly, I mean,
Yes.
she is a single mom
Yes, she
who has health challenges, but she's also one of the top political organizers in the country. And so we have a black woman, a white woman, women who are talking to us about how we're going to close this pay gap and what it would be like if these companies, what,
Hmm.
if you published, if everybody knew what everybody was making. Okay, everybody, so the Trump acquittal in full effect. Did you see? Boy, he was slamming, the president was slamming Nancy Pelosi and Senator Mitt Romney about their religious convictions. I said, he doesn't even
Mhm.
sound Christian here. This was like terrible. And anyone who has known the history of Nancy Pelosi, Speaker Pelosi, and Senator Mitt Romney, you know that they're very, very deeply religious people who take their roles in their churches very seriously. Uh, and so, even the president even talked about forgiveness and all this. That's overrated. Oh my gosh. Well, according to this Common Dreams headline, after the Trump acquittal, White House secretary threatens maybe some people should pay. President Trump, famously has held up a newspaper that displayed the headline acquitted as he arrived at the 68th annual National Prayer Breakfast. right yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And just hours later, White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham threatened that maybe, quote, some people should pay for how Trump was treated during the impeachment proceedings. She continued, he's glad it's over. He'll certainly talk about that. But I think he's also going to talk about just how horribly he was treated. And, maybe people should pay for that. Wow. And according to The Guardian, after his acquittal, new revelations will continue to trickle in. But will they have an impact? No. Bernie won Iowa. That's the hashtag that is trending. Bernie won IA is trending as his supporters have taken the messaging into their own hands. And Bernie Sanders has declared victory in Iowa. He said, quote, because I got 6,000 more votes. But he did. He got 6,000 more votes. Now, he and Pete Buttigieg are almost in a dead heat, a tie for delegate count. But, there's several metrics by which someone can determine themselves a winner. Not the least of which, of course, Bernie Sanders raised $25 million in January, more than any other Democrat in any quarter of 2019. But do you think he won? Do you think he won? Well, according to this Jacobin story, they said, quote, let's walk through this together. There are three metrics by which we might measure victory in Iowa: the popular vote, the percentage of state delegates, and the number of pledged delegates to the Democratic National Convention. Right now, Bernie Sanders has won the popular vote. He's poised to win the highest percentage of state delegates and is tied for the number of national delegates. Therefore, he won Iowa. So what do you think, everybody? What do you think? Wow. It seems that Trump fans flooded the hotline to disrupt the Iowa caucus process. Are you surprised? Remember last week we reported that President Trump's supporters were swarming the state of Iowa? Well, according to this report by Kenya Evelyn of The Guardian, Donald Trump's legion of followers flooded a vital telephone hotline used to share Iowa Democratic caucus results. After the number was shared online, the hack was reported in a phone conference Wednesday night between Iowa Democratic Party staff and the state central committee. Wow. Did you hear about that? No one's talking about it. These are the things that people are not talking about. I don't understand that. I don't understand it. So you know what, everybody? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about Iowa. Let's talk about they're going to have they're slated to have a public memorial for Kobe Bryant at the Staples Center, which is, they had that at the Staples Center. Of course, he played there, but that's where they had Michael Jackson's funeral, the big funerals in LA they have at the Staples Center. And so the late Kobe Bryant and 8 other victims, including his daughter and 2 other families who were killed in that helicopter crash. They will be honored at a public memorial on February 24th, and the event will be open to the public. Details on whether people need tickets or not, well, those details have yet to be disclosed. Gayle King is in hot water. We're going to talk about that next week. She has ripped CBS, who employ her, for excerpting her Lisa Leslie interview. Of course, Lisa Leslie is the WNBA, the basketball great, who was very close to Kobe Bryant, who, of course, was a real supporter of women in sport. And in fact, he said, look, there are women in the WNBA who could play with us right now because of their skill sets. Well, Gayle King asked her, she slow walked her. She said, look, what about this mixed legacy of your friend and these rape allegations? And Lisa Leslie looked, well, like she was in her feelings about that. She's a very classy lady. She said, he doesn't have a mixed legacy at all. And I know him, and this was somewhat, I never saw that. I saw other NBA players who kind of rolled up on women, and he just did not do that. That was not his style. She said, well, you wouldn't have seen that. You wouldn't know that about him. She said, So the black press, that's the story that's not being told here. The independent black press have gone in on her, and they've gone in on Oprah Winfrey. So they've been having a really hard time, which made Gayle King get in social media and explain herself. And she said, I'm going to go talk to CBS. We'll see how that works because they pay her. Remember, she did this with R. Kelly, too. And so the black media are saying, and you're not talking to Harvey Weinstein? So next week we'll talk about that. What do you think?
Yes.
Okay, the Chicago Bulls. This is Cortez's favorite part. The Bulls went down to the Pelicans yesterday. The Pelicans 125, the Bulls 119. The Dow, of course, the stock markets. Most of us do not invest in them, but I'm going to report them. The Dow was up 88 points. The Nasdaq was up 63 points. S&P 500 up 11 points. Today we're expecting a high of 35 degrees. It is snowing outside. It is chilly outside. So be warm and dressed very, very nicely when you get outside. All right, everybody, we've got a wonderful, wonderful. We're going to come back on the other side of the break and talk with Erin Connelly, WeBridge Consultants, one of the top political organizers in the country, but she is also a single mom. She also, she lives with diabetes.
Yes.
But she keeps on pushing, plugging away, even though she does look like a supermodel, right?
Yes, she
I don't know
does.
if she really has that. I don't know if Erin's telling us the truth. When she came to you missed her at the Halloween party.
Mm.
She came in as, what's it, Maleficent?
Yes,
Angelina Jolie had nothing on her. She is stunning.
she did.
She looked fabulous. But she does struggle with her health. But she's also a single mom, and we're all talking with Dr. Brenda Wade about this pay gap. And psychologically, I want to know from Dr. Wade, what would it do to a company, to the company culture, if you published all salaries online? Remember, it takes a black woman of similar skills 8 more months to make what her white male counterpart has made. August 22nd is the date you should always remember. That's what it will take a black woman until August 22nd of any given year to make what a white man of similar skills has made by December 31st of the year before. 8 months. Over a lifetime of work, that could be more than $880,000. What does that mean? White women make 79 cents on the dollar for what white men make. This is just about us leveling the playing field with more and more female heads of households. And bottom line, even if I get up and go to work every day too. And I think in 2020, this ought to be an issue. Got to talk about that. And of course, it's National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. Going to talk about that and period poverty. Talk about you getting your money. Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas. We got a lot to talk about on the Santita Jackson Show. Keep those calls coming in at 773-763 WCPT, 773-763-9278, and go to YouTube, The Santita Jackson Show. Please like and subscribe. Even if you want to be on Facebook, just hop back and forth, y'all. Please like and subscribe, because at this clip, we will have more than 1,000 subscribers pretty soon, which is great. And of course, Santita Jackson and friends over here on Facebook. Like and share. Like it. Please share that too, because you're helping us to grow. All right, back in just a moment. What if? Do you agree? Do you agree with a company publishing everybody's salaries online? What do you think about that? How would you feel? More of the Santita Jackson Show in just a few minutes. Hey everybody, are you ready for the NBA All-Star Weekend here in Chicago? Well, we are getting ready and we cannot wait for you to come out and support Cool Kids Code. It's a fantastic program from Push Excel. And guess what? Shaquille O'Neal and Reverend Jesse Jackson and Judge Greg Mathis and Zeke, also known as Isaiah Thomas, and other NBA Hall of Famer, Dave Bing. They will, did I say Judge Greg Mathis, Lady B? Okay. All these people are going to be coming together on Thursday, February 13th at 8 p.m. at Soldier Field in the United Room for a wonderful benefit. We are dedicating everything to Kobe Bryant, who was a scholar athlete, and we're so excited that you will be able to be a part of this. So go on. We want to help our children be excellent. We want to help them get to school. The Cool Kids program is something that is worthy of your attention. Go to rainbowpush.org for more details so that you can join us at Soldier Field so that we can see Shaquille O'Neal, Reverend Jesse Jackson, Isaiah Thomas, Judge Greg Mathis, Dave Bing, and for all of us old schoolers out there, Dougie Fresh. It's going to be a great time. Go to rainbowpush.org for more information and call 888-503-6631, 888-503-6631. Cool Kids Code. Let's help our children be excellent. Let's help our children be all that they are supposed to be.
In general, I'm a win-win.
Because I said Judge Greg Mathis 2 or 3 times. She's got a thing for Greg Mathis.
That was perfect.
Close your ears. You're not supposed to hear that.
That was perfect.
Yeah, because I've said his name 50 times. Every time I said it, I could have tripped over everything else. I could have tripped over my lips. Aren't that beautiful? Oh.
10 seconds.
Okay. I'm sending this to you so I can have that. Okay? I just sent you this.
Mike going hot.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Santita Jackson Show, WCPT 820, WCPT 820, the nation's largest progressive talk radio station. We are taking your calls. David from Lincoln Park, everybody, 773-763-WCPT, 773-763-9278. Like and share on Facebook on the Santita Jackson and Friends page. And please, all my morning stars who are on the Santita Jackson and Friends page, would you hop on over to the Santita Jackson Show on YouTube and like and subscribe? We're trying to grow this show. That's right. That's right. Hey, everybody. What about this pay gap? What about this pay gap? It's a real thing. For a woman, it does not cost any less to rent or buy a house. It does not cost any less for us to get our food, to get our medicine. It costs. And yet women today in 2020 make far less than our male counterparts. For black women, the evidence is so glaring. It takes us 8 months. We have to work an additional 8 months. Mm-hmm. There are only 12 months in a year. We got to work 20 months to make what a white man has made in 12 months. Wow. Now, how are we going to work this out? Well, what about if a company published everybody, a private company, not the Army, not the Navy, not the Air Force, the Marines, a private company, what if they published all salaries online? Welcome back to your home, Dr. Brenda Wade, the Love Doc, and of course, Erin Connelly, WeBridge Consultants. Dr. Brenda Wade, help me take this apart.
Good morning, Santita. It's such a pleasure to be with you again, and this is such a crucial topic because when we talk about money, you have to remember money is only the means to the end. And what is the end? It's lifestyle. It's how you feel. It affects your health. It affects your absolute every aspect of your life. It's not just money. Can you afford good medical care? Can you afford clothing? Can you afford the right kind of food? What can you afford depends on how much money you make. And when there's a pay gap, when we know there are more women heads of households than ever before, more single mothers than ever before, working to take care of their children, how much a woman makes is critical. Now, when we talk about the pay gap, Santita, I want people to remember this. If there's a pay gap, it means women are being devalued. And it's across the board in companies. 60% of women report they're also subjected to unwanted sexual advances. In some cases, out and out sexual assault. It hasn't ended. I've got clients coming through my door in my office in San Francisco, not women who are at the bottom echelon in terms of the work they do, what they get paid, but I'm talking about top executives in companies, women, who are being exposed to sexual advances, sexual assault, and then the company tries to pay them off and get rid of them. Well, that means they're out of work for maybe a year. So their unwanted sexual advances, sexual assault. 60% of women say they've been exposed to demeaning comments from male colleagues. So we're talking about the pay gap also including a hostile environment for women who are working, doing the same work at the same level, some of whom have even higher educational achievement, but who make less money.
Does trans...
One critical factor, more women suffering from anxiety, which leads to depression because they don't have enough money.
Does transparency help any of this? I mean, we're talking about a company, Buffer, that published everyone's salaries online. And this is interesting because, you know, in the armed forces, that's public, that's government. But this is a private company that did that. Would it be helpful if we have transparency? Do you think it would be helpful, please, if we even had cameras in the office?
Yes. The truth is, when things are out in the open, it does level the playing field. It does give women a chance to say, oh, I am earning the same amount as my male counterpart, doing the same work every day. I am earning a fair amount, given what I do. All of that's important. But one of the things, you know, I did read the article about Buffer publishing the salaries. One of the things that came out of it is something called the tax, the pay tax, the gap tax, the gender tax. And what that means is more women are being hired at the same amount, but men who were hired earlier are still making so much more money because